Hi, this is Catherine Barnes. I am your 2024-25 ConnexFM Board of Directors Chair, and we're here to do a segment that's new, and it's called One Degree with the Chair. And each month, we are going to have a Board of Directors member join me, and then a special guest. And we're going to be focusing on building your network, building your one degree, and some great things that are happening within ConnexFM. So this month we are focused on an event that is part of the ConnexFM experience. It is called the Toronto Boat Tour. It is June 20th in Toronto. And with me this month are two of our members that are actually from Canada. So we thought we'd bring in the Canada base to join me this month. So I'd like to start out by introducing our guests here. We've got Deanne Barker. Deanne is Senior Manager, Facility Operations for Best Buy Canada. She has been a member of the ConnexFM Board of Directors starting this year. And she's also a member of our Canadian Council. So welcome, Deanne.
Hi, Catherine. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And our next guest is Alicia Levy. Alicia is our Manager of Transformation and Corporate Strategy for Facility Plus. Facility Plus is ConnexFM's 2024 Canada Supplier of the Year and also our sponsor for the the Toronto event that is coming up. So welcome, Alicia.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. Super excited to be here and super excited for the event on June 20th.
Thank you. And thank you. I love that you guys are here and that we're kicking this off. So this is going to be really fun. So we're going to start with you, Alicia. Tell us about Facility Plus and tell us why Facility Plus decided to sponsor this event.
Yes, perfect. All right. Well, hello. I am from Facility Plus, and we are a complete facility services company. We service all across North America, so both in the US and Canada, and we have a Just Ask Us business model. So anything you can imagine in your facility from floor to ceiling and in between, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, handyman, janitorial, 24/7 emergency services. We truly do it all, and we are very, very honored and excited to be the title sponsor of the boat cruise happening in Toronto on June 20th. Now, we are huge, huge fans of Connex, and we love traveling to the States for the national conference and the mid-year conference. But when we heard that this boat cruise was going to be happening in Toronto in the GTA right in my backyard, we thought we got to get behind this. We have visited the boat 2 times now, and it is a 3-level boat with beautiful balconies, and it's amazing, just the boat itself. And honestly, it is going to be a fantastic tour. I know myself being a more newer member of the Connex community, the networking opportunities, the individuals you meet at events like this, like-minded professionals, FMs, suppliers, whether you're a member or not, it is a fantastic opportunity and event that I highly recommend you come out to have some fun on the water, meet some new people, and get immersed in the beautiful Connex world.
Yeah, thank you for that. And we are so happy to have you guys sponsor it. So we do appreciate that. So thank you. And I love how you call it GTA. I was like, I had to think for a second. I was like, great, Toronto area. So we're going to
Yes,
start learning
that's
the
it.
lingo
That's it.
here, right? Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. All right, we're going to switch gears. So Deanne, I know you're going to be joining us in the event. So tell us a little bit about what you're hoping to get from this event, and really kind of thinking about growing your network or your one degree.
Yeah, thanks, Catherine. And, just to echo Alicia's comments around, the opportunity to spend time with like-minded individuals, to gain access to diverse, ideas and inputs in the industry. A lot of businesses have the opportunity to build their brand. But for me, I think it's more about, the access to like-minded individuals in a facility industry who are going through some of the same struggles and relatable experiences based on market trends. But ultimately, it's about, what you have to make time. No one has time to network. We have to make time, and you get out of it what you put into it. So if you take the time to put it into the networking component and get to know people, you'll really come out meeting new people and building relationships that you'll foster for a long time.
Yeah. So that's amazing. And it's really what it's all about, right? So it's about connecting, and I love that you touched on making time, because it really is, we're all going to have to take time out of our day and in our week in some cases. So I love that, because you really do get out of it what you put into it. So I'm glad that you brought that up. All right, so the next one is going to be for both of you. It's kind of a two-parter for both of you. So this is actually an event that ConnexFM is hosting, but it's also for non-ConnexFM members. So anyone who's not a member yet can sign up and join us. And it's in Canada, but it's not necessarily a Canada event. We're right across the border to the States, and New York is there. So it's a really quick trip. Even for myself, I'm coming from the Chicagoland area, and the flight is only a couple of hours. So thinking about it, you may think it's further away than what it really is. And so I think of it more of a global event. So we're going to start with you, Alicia, to be able to share what can some folks take away from this when they think about it and be like, oh, that's in Canada, so it's only going to be for the Canada base. How can we present this as more of a global event, and what can folks who are not in Canada take away from it?
Yeah, so I think first of all, if you look at Facility Plus as a whole, even though the event is in Canada, you will have suppliers and facility managers who have that national presence. So if you take Facility Plus, for example, we service both the US and Canada. So even though it is a Canadian-based event, you will have individuals who manage facilities in the States or service facilities in the States. So you still have that opportunity to grow your network on both sides of the border all across North America, which is fantastic. Another thing is, it's always great to leave the country that you operate in, go to a different country and learn what technologies are they using? What best practices are they doing? What can I learn from these companies that may have slight differences in the way that they do business that I can then take back to my organization and say, hey, we should maybe think about the way this Canadian company is doing this certain aspect of their business. It could maybe be a great nugget for us to take and to leverage and to build on for our organization as a whole. And again, being a newer Connex member, if you are not a member, it is still such a fantastic event to get out to meet new people, industry professionals. It is crazy what you can learn just by having one conversation with somebody that you had no idea about before. They'll give you different perspectives, open your eyes to different industry trends, or you may bond over hockey or something. You're just always growing your network, making new friends, lifelong connections, and you never know where those connections can get you, and whether that is in the US or Canada. It's just a fantastic event all around to grow your network and meet like-minded individuals in the industry, both in Canada and the States.
Yeah, no, I like how you touched on too. So it's not just about doing business together, but it's what we can learn from each other, and
Yes.
the networking, and that comes from being able to bounce off, what are you experiencing? What are you going through? And that can be on the supplier base, or it could be on the FM base. So
Exactly.
I love that. All right, passing it on to you, Deanne. What do you think about it being a global event, not just a Canada event?
Yeah, I think sometimes we get stuck on geography, and really what it comes down to is it's not about where the event's taking place, but it's about what content the event offers and what the connection components of the event are. You're looking at opportunities to increase your exposure, for new opportunities for partnerships. You gain a different insight and idea around market industries and what the differences are by geography. But sometimes I think we're ignorant to what those different geography impacts are until you take a step outside of your comfort zone. So, I think people need to start looking at it from the lens of it's a typical Connex event. Well, it wouldn't be national, it wouldn't be mid-year, but it's in Canada, but it's open to everybody, and everyone's welcome in the sense that you don't know who you're going to meet until you make the time to show up and see who's attending, to make those partnerships and connections in person.
Yeah, I think that you're spot on in that we get caught up in geography, like just because it's in Canada. I think the only thing that I've heard is that folks are like, oh, my passport's not up to date.
Oh,
That's the one
yeah.
thing, right? Because it's
Yeah.
so close to, to the States. And it can kind of transition us to the next question, which really is to kind of get some advice from some folks that are local to the GTA. So now that I know the lingo, I can say
Nice.
but this is my first time in Canada and obviously in Toronto. And so we decided that it was going to be an opportunity to make a full weekend of it and get some exciting things. So I started to do more research and kind of thinking about what we wanted to do. So what would you, and we'll start with you, Deanne, this time. What kind of advice would you give, or what recommendations would you give for folks that are coming in that have never been to the area, that would like to take in more than just this event, and maybe they can bring along some of the folks that they meet on the boat tour with them to some of this, but if they're going to make an extended long weekend of it, what do you recommend?
Yeah, well, Toronto's a big city in itself, and there's tons to do and see right in the core from our not so successful sports teams. Although I think the baseball team is playing leading up to the event. They're not there when we're at the event.
Yeah.
But if you go to the outlying areas, there's a ton of beautiful sites to see within 30 minutes to 45 minutes from the Toronto core. And some familiar places that are favorites of mine. You've got the Scarborough Bluffs. You've got the Warplane Heritage Museum. And also there's the 20 Mile Bench, which is one of the best winery districts in Ontario, with some world famous wine right along there. And it's about a 20-kilometer stretch of wineries that you can kind of cruise through the back roads around some pretty scenic areas in Ontario. So those would be my go-tos.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to kilometers. So we're going to have to learn how to do the metrics.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do the
Yes.
conversion.
Yes.
All right. Alicia, what do you recommend for folks that are coming in for the first time, or even if they've been there before, what do you recommend?
Yeah, perfect. So I put together a little list of my favorite things to do in Toronto, being a Toronto girl my whole life. So Toronto has an amazing food scene. There are tons and tons of amazing restaurants in the Toronto area. I am a diehard Italian food fan, so some of my favorites are Torroni on Adelaide and Piano Piano. Those are fantastic restaurants. I highly, highly recommend. To build on Deanne's point, there are some sports games. I'm a huge sports fan, even though Toronto teams always break my heart year after year. The Blue Jays are at home on the 19th at the Rogers Centre. Can't guarantee that they will win or get any runs or home runs, but it's still a fantastic stadium. And if the dome is open and it's a nice day, it's beautiful to get out and watch a baseball game. TFC, which is our soccer team, is also playing at home on the 19th at the BMO Center. So that should be a fun game as well. If you're into walking or checking out different areas of Toronto, I highly recommend Kensington Market. They have lots of cute restaurants and little outlets to go shopping in. CN Tower is also a very classic attraction to go and see. You can have dinner at the top of the CN Tower, or if you're really brave, you can do the CN Tower Edge Walk. I believe you hang off the side of the CN Tower. I've been too scared to try that out, but I have had some friends do it, and it's quite the thrill, I've heard. And then right beside the CN Tower as well, there is Ripley's Aquarium. So if you are an animal lover, there's tons of cool aquatic creatures, and it's quite a cool thing to do. So those are some of my favorite things to do in Toronto.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So I know I'm going to go back to like seeing Toronto in movies or TV. So the tower you're talking about, is that like the tower that we're always seeing in the skyline? Is that the right one?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, very cool. And for folks that are coming in that may be interested, the Blue Jays, they play the Red Sox. So that may be enticing for folks to come in and see on the 19th and catch the game. I think it's a 6 o'clock game. So it would be an opportunity to go the night before the event to catch the baseball game. So anyone who has baseball stadiums on their bucket list, that actually would be a very cool one to do. And always pick the food places, because I know that we have a lot of foodies that will be part of our members or non-members that want to think about joining us as well. So very cool. So I'm excited. I think you've added a few things that I'm going to have to try to fit in for the weekend. So thank you guys for that. All right. So finally, as we shared at the very beginning, this is called One Degree with the Chair, and it is all about networking. It's about ConnexFM. It's about making your 1 degree great. And so each segment, I'm going to end with asking the guests to provide one story about ConnexFM and a connection that you've made that you take with you wherever you go. It doesn't have to be like life changing, but it can be something that it's just there with you. You bring it back with you, and it's all because of ConnexFM. So I'm going to start with you, Alicia.
Yeah, perfect. So this being my first year in the Connex community as a member, I had the privilege of attending one of the Connex Foundation's Impact Charity events at the 2024 National Conference in Nashville. We went to Harvest Hands, and that was a very transformative experience for me. Just seeing the suppliers, the board members, the FMs, the industry professionals all come together in one area and get on your hands and knees, getting dirty, gardening, building chairs, staining benches, cutting weeds, whatever it may be. It truly opened my eyes and reiterated the importance to me of, hey, we always need to pause, take a step back, and give back to the communities with which we operate in. And just to see everybody in that different light. I had one individual who I was really struggling to build a Muskoka chair. And I had one individual who spent probably 30 to an hour just coaching me, talking with me, giving me some, some industry tips, seeing that as I was a younger member in the industry community, and just really again reiterated, if you take the time to coach, train somebody, give back to the community, it goes a very long way and it is not forgotten. And it's just something that we really, really need to prioritize and make sure that it's a part of our business case and business plans going forward. So I highly recommend going to one of these Connex Foundation events. It is amazing the initiatives that they get behind and the causes that they support and the connections that you make when you are working together to make an impact towards a bigger cause and build these chairs, garden. It's fantastic. And just the learnings that you can acquire and the people you meet there, it's something that will take with me for the rest of my life. And some connections I made there, I'm still friends with today and we still keep in contact. And it's a fantastic cause to get behind.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
All right, Deanne, what about you?
Yeah, so for me, it's not like this is no earth-shattering relationship or memory, but when I joined Connect 7 years ago, I was really questioning what am I going to get out of this and how am I going to make the most of this membership? And the one piece that I think goes unnoticed is the amount of committees and opportunities there are within the organization to get involved, to learn, and to build networks within networks, whether it's, you're in retail and you want to learn a little bit about the medical side of things or vice versa. And, when I joined Connex, the first committee I joined, I think it was like the second weekend, and I got this email from an individual who was so excited to have me join. And I was from Canada, and would I like to join WIA, which is the Women in Action Committee. And I joined the committee, and Tom and Stephanie both, rallied behind and showed me the ropes of being, a standout member of building network. Whether you do business together or not, those are two long-standing relationships that I have within, the association that I don't think we've done business together in any aspect, but we all rely heavily on each other in terms of, reaching out, getting feedback, and trying to overcome obstacles that they may be faced with or I may be faced with, depending on what the nature of the situation is. So for me, that's really what I take with me every year I go to national. I just think about that first time when I was the new guy in town, and people who really just take the time to reach out and build connection, make you remember what it feels like to be the new person. And I think it's a pretty collaborative and welcoming community that we have at Connex. So that's it for me.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. And though you said it's not earth shattering, but I think it's pretty important. I do. I think that the committees that we have and just that connection, like you may not fully realize like how important they are, but even just you sharing that's your story, I think it shows, how important it is. So that's very cool. All right. Well, I do appreciate you guys joining me. I think this is amazing. I'm excited to see 1 degree with the chair over the next few months, and appreciate you guys joining me for this, I guess, an inaugural, the kickoff for this. So it's really going to be cool and really going to be fun. So I do appreciate that. And I'm looking forward and excited to the event that's coming up. So for folks who have not signed up yet, please sign up. There is an opportunity to go to ConnexFM.com, go to events, look for the ConnexFM experiences, the Toronto boat tour, sign up, come join us. You will be able to see Alicia and Deanne and a lot of amazing people, and to be able to connect. And especially if you're not a member yet, please join us. It's an opportunity to meet some of the great members that we have, and to be able to explore the GTAs, the Greater Toronto Area. I'm going to take this with me. I'm going to say it the whole time I'm there like I'm local.
I love it.
All right. So thank you guys. I'm excited. And until next time, just remember that 1 degree can lead to something amazing. So please keep connecting.